Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
Let's go. Let's do this Cowboys Storyline presented by Gillette. Friday, October 24th. Final show. What are we doing here? Final show of the week before we go to Denver. Go to Denver tomorrow. It's been a while since we've played a regular season game there. Been a couple of preseason games. Those don't count. But regular season, but 8 years, just like it's supposed to be. Every 8 years, you're going to show up there. 2009, 2017, 2025. Every 8 years. All right. We'll see if the Cowboys can snap a 30-year drought of beating Denver. 33-year drought of beating them in Denver. So we've been talking about that all week. Does it matter? Does it really care? These guys weren't even alive then. Just go out there and be better than the Broncos. That's something that they haven't been. And they're good this year. They're 5-2. As I've said all week, I don't think this is a 6-2 football team. I don't think they're that good. I really don't. So that's what they'll be if they beat you. That's why I think the Cowboys are going to win. I think that they are the better team. And I think their offense right now is rolling. So I'll just get my prediction out of the way. I think they're going to win it. And I'm stealing. I forgot the guy who told it to me. I think it's Casey Joe. No. It was Casey in L.A. 33. 33 is the number. It's the magic number. That's what I'm going with. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Brian in Kansas City's up first. Brian, what's up?
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Yeah, I think this is the lucky one. You know, I gave my score, but I think this is it. Hey, just my question for today though is just any of those people that are coming off of, you know, that had their window open, or anybody on the injury report, any of them you think have a chance at playing? And that includes Diggs and what's his name, the left tackle with the glute injury, Guyton.
Yeah,
just anything you got on injury updates, brother. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Good to talk to you. Talk to you next week, man.
Thanks, appreciate it. All right, Brian. The one guy that I would say is definitely out. I don't know about anything's definite, but Diggs isn't playing. He's not playing this game. Beyond that, who knows? And I thought that was interesting today on 105.3 The Fan, getting to listen to Jerry, and he said he doesn't think he'll play this week. Very questionable is what he said, but Schottenheimer also said he thinks that he probably won't play. But then after that, Jerry wouldn't get into. So there are some people around here that think Trayvon Diggs has played his last game with the Cowboys. I haven't gotten that far just yet. I think you're a team that doesn't have great cornerbacks, and I think he can be great when he wants to be. So I'm kind of hard pressed to say let's get rid of him. But Diggs, I don't think will play this week. Let's just keep it at that. Of the guys that were their window was open to practice, the BB, Overshown, Revel, a group, BB would be the one guy that I think could play this week. I talked to him yesterday. He says he's going to try to be back for this game. He got some reps yesterday working, some with the first team, but seems more realistic to come back for Arizona the next game. But either way, those three guys there. And Guyton, we'll see. He's limited. We'll see what he can do today. All right, Gary in New Mexico's next.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Gary. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm going to give you a trivia question. I'm going to piggyback off of one of the questions on the website.
Okay. All right. How did you do, by the way, with some of those questions?
I did really, really well. I was perfect until you get to the end and it starts asking me things about recent history.
You know what's funny? Hey, hold on. Let me just tell you about this. Let me just tell you how it goes. Kurt Daniels, who's on Hanging with the Boys, he gives me the first 15. He does it. He's already into like Kansas City probably. That's how far ahead he is. And I will always add the last 5. So the last 5 are always a little bit more recent because Did you get yesterday's answer? And by the way, I said it on here, but I didn't give the answer. The guy that caught the 2 touchdown passes in the 2021 game was Malik Turner, and there's nobody that I know that has gotten that without maybe multiple choice. But Malik Turner.
No, I did. That's the one that I missed. I had no clue. I can tell you the third string cornerback from 1974, but I couldn't tell you who scored the touchdown 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's just the way I am.
I'm with you.
All right, so here's my piggyback question. So question number 7. Emmitt Smith scored that game-winning touchdown in 1992 out at Denver.
Mm-hmm.
But when he scored that touchdown, he broke a team record that had stood since 1966 for most total touchdowns in a season by a single player. Whose record did he break?
66? Most touchdowns?
Yep, total touchdowns in a season.
I mean, man.
Now, you got to think Denver. We're playing Denver.
Oh. In 1966, I mean, I would have thought. Are you talking about quarterbacks that can pass it, or just total?
No, I'm talking about total touchdowns in a single season for a Cowboy player.
You know,
Emmitt broke that record with that touchdown run that had stood since 1966. This guy had 16 touchdowns in 1966 as a rookie.
Bob Hayes?
Dan Reeves.
Dan Reeves, okay.
Yeah. Dan Reeves had 8 rushing touchdowns and 8 receiving touchdowns as a rookie in 1966, and I think he may have even thrown a couple of touchdown passes too.
Nice.
But Emmitt broke that record by beating Dan Reeves in Denver in 1992. Yes, that was a cool thing. All right, enough with the glory days. Let's get on to this year's team. I would be pleasantly surprised if they're able to beat Denver this Sunday.
Okay.
And I'm a glass half full type of guy, but I'm just, and that's kind of what I want to touch on. Then I'll hang up and listen. There's a lot of talk out there about we need to be trading away, we need to be trading, trying to get a player to get us over the top and make a run at this thing. And I don't think we're at a position yet where we need to be talking about that because they haven't even won consecutive games yet. You know, until you can at least win back-to-back games, I'm not interested in trading away draft capital because at this point, I don't think this defense is one player away. Now, if you can tell me that you can get a player that's going to have an Amari Cooper-type impact and make it a legitimate Super Bowl contender, I would be willing to listen, but I don't think they're that close on defense, as great as the offense is. And, man, I love watching this offense. It is so fun to watch. The defense, I think it's just too far away, but we'll see what happens, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
All right, thanks for the call. You know, Gary, I actually disagree a little bit with you there because when what you're talking about is we haven't won consecutive games, haven't seen that yet, and you're right. And if you don't do that, then we're seeing a 3-3-1 record right now. We all know where that leads to, right? Especially we didn't think we would get back there in the 17-game season, but because of the tie, they are headed towards 8-1-ville. That's what it looks like, and so you don't have to win consecutive games necessarily to do that. And what you're asking for is consistency. We haven't seen them to be a consistent team yet. My argument to that would be if you had more help on defense, if you had a playmaker that you could count on, somebody that could get you off the field every now and again, that could just give you a little bit of help on offense, that can get you another win, 2 or 3, then 8-1 is kind of what they're looking at. That's the course that they're on. They get a few more wins. Now you're looking at, 10-6-1 maybe? Perhaps 11-5-1. That's certainly in the playoffs there. So I think that getting a player could get you off of that track, and maybe that's all that you need. Now, I guess the question that people would have to figure out is, are you okay trading a number 1 pick for a player that'll be here, this year and then next couple years, just to kind of get into the playoffs, just to kind of get in the dance as a wild card and all that? Or do you think this has to be a move that makes you a Super Bowl contender? Now, I would say that if you're in the playoffs, you're a contender. I mean, you just are. We've seen it. We've seen lower seeds get in there, get hot, win on the road, that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of in the mindset of let's get in the dance. Let's just see what happens there. But Good conversation. Good talk. Some people just want to see a little bit more consistency before they say, "Hey, let's do that." If not, then you're not interested in just barely sneaking in here and then losing a first round pick for it. So both arguments, I could see that. Pete in Connecticut is next. Pete, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing? How many times are you calling today, Pete?
37.
But how many times after this are you going to come back? Because you are a repeat and three-peat caller.
That's right.
On this show.
No, this is the only time I'll give it a try.
All right. Well.
So I just want to tell a quick Dak Prescott story. So 10 years ago, I lost my mom, and my buddy bought me a plane ticket to come see the Cowboys play the Eagles Dak's rookie year.
Okay.
And I got to actually meet Dak for a quick second on Saturday, the day before the game, and he was just very nice to me and gave me a quick handshake and said, "Keep your head up, and we'll get this one for our moms." And they won, and with Jason Witten.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's been 10 years to the day, and my birthday's on Sunday, so I think Dak's going to pull off another miracle win.
Nice.
And that's all I really got.
Okay. All right. That home game, right? You're obviously home game overtime. That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep, I think, Dak threw it to Jason Witten, drove it down the field. Sean Lee made that strip tackle.
You're so right. Sean Lee's tackle won that game. And might have changed Cowboys history, because if they don't win that game, Romo's probably playing pretty soon.
Yeah, and that game, I just couldn't believe it. It was the first time I ever left the state, and I got to go see the Cowboys play in that beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
And just seeing Dak make that throw, it was just like, it just meant everything to me. So I hope he can pull off some magic again this weekend, and go Cowboys.
Awesome. Thanks, Pete. I mean, you could thank me as well for that. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if I've seen the picture. I've posted it several times. That was the game. We're in the back of the end zone. Cowboys are driving in overtime. We're in the back of the end zone. And it's funny because, I just see Witten come across. I mean, you just see him. He's right there. And Dak's spinning on this way. And I'm just pointing. I'm like, there's Witten right there. There he is right there. And then, of course, Dak throws it to him. Of course, he didn't see me. But there is an end zone shot from the broadcast that if you just pause it, you see, there's Dak, there's Witten, and then you see us in the background, me and Derek. I'm just right there. There he is. There he is. So I always feel like I kind of contributed to that. Wink, wink. Awesome, though. Honestly, though, Pete, thanks for the call. And not to make light of the story. It's a great story and obviously a connection that you had. I'm so glad that Dak was able to talk to you about that, and two people that can relate to that. And I'm glad that he made it such a great memory for you. That's awesome. All right, Chris in Saratoga Springs, New York. Chris, what's up?
Happy Friday, Nick.
All right, thank you. Happy Friday to you.
I get so excited having Demo back after that injury. There's no player, I don't think, that I have rooted for more since he's been in the league than him. He's just the attitude, the perseverance, the dedication, always having a smiling on his face. Just unbelievable to have him back on the field, and I'm so happy for that kid.
Yep.
I'm just very, very excited
to
see him back on the field.
Yeah, as far as playing, I know you're talking about practice field. I don't think he's, just so people that are listening, I don't think he's going to be playing this game. I'd be surprised if he doesn't come back until the Raiders after the bye. But on the field, practicing, yes, you're right.
I do have one question for you real quick.
Okay.
With Mingo coming back, what do you think it means for that fourth and fifth receiver with Colbert and Ryan? Do you think one of them will be inactive if Mingo's on? Is Mingo's active this week?
Yeah. No, that's a great question. I don't have that answer. I don't. Now, I need to watch practice today, and you can kind of watch the scout team and special teams and see who's up and who's not. You can kind of get a good gauge on that. If you're playing special teams, you're in. That's a great question, because that comes down to who does play your best special teams. Flanoy is pretty good at that. I would say better than Mingo because he hasn't played it a lot. And but Tolbert's not bad there either. So that really is a good question. I wish I had a better answer. I don't. I don't know. I mean, who would you sit? Who would you keep out?
Tolbert. I'd have Tolbert out. I'd have Ryan in there. I'd have Mingo in there. Illinois is just a better special teams player in my opinion. And Mingo, I mean, he looked really good in preseason.
Yeah.
I thought he had a good camp. If he's healthy, I would definitely have Mingo in and Flournoy, and then I'd have Tolbert out.
I got you. All right. Thanks for the call. Here's where I would. This is where I have to defer to the coaches. Number one, who is your better special teams guy for sure? So you got to figure that part out. You factor that in. Also, who plays the most positions at receiver? Who can do all of the things? If any of the guys are out, if you suffer an injury in the middle of the game to, knock on wood, to Pickens or CD or Turpin, who can come in and fill in the most spots for that? And if Tolbert is in that group to do that, then I think I think we're forgetting just how valuable that can be. I get it. He doesn't do anything that wows you. You know, he's not the biggest guy. Flournoy is one of the biggest guys, and he's fast too. And then obviously Pickens does his thing. CD Turpin's the fastest guy maybe in the league, and even Mingo has some size to him. Everyone does a little something that Tolbert he's easy to kind of put over here. But I'm telling you, if he's got the most versatility at receiver and he does the most things on special teams, because he's a fourth-year guy, he's not a rookie by any stretch of the imagination. He's been here, so. Don't discount that. Again, I wish I had an answer. I don't, but it's going to come down to some of these other factors that we don't always see. All right, Alex in South Bay, California. Alex.
Nick, what's going on, man?
How are you?
Long time no talk. I'm good, man. Everything's great over here. Game 1 of the World Series. Got my Dodger blue on. Hopefully that pans out.
Okay.
Trying to go back to back. Yeah. But it's been a long time. Hope everything's good with you guys. I listen every day. It's just very hard to get through.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
great show every day.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you and good luck to your team. I didn't even realize they won it last year. I didn't know that.
Oh, come on.
I can tell you they won it in 81. They beat the Yankees in 81. I can, just like Gary in New Mexico, I can take you way back in the 80s. I can tell you every World Series 80s, but last year I don't remember. I don't know who won it. I know it wasn't the Rangers. Rangers won it 2 years ago. I know that.
Right, there we go. But yeah, so as far as this week goes, Nick, I don't want to be the wet blanket. I just think I'm not sure if they're going to pull it off. They're on the road. I just think the Broncos defense might make that one stop that our defense.
Yeah. Hey.
Hoping for the best, but I got the Broncos winning it, something about maybe around 31-26, something like that.
All right.
And then my only question for you, Nick, is because this defense is what needs help, essentially, right? There's two former players that, had they had their head on straight, I think could have had very good careers. One is David Irving, and the other is the linebacker from Alabama that we had for a year. I forgot his name.
Rolando McClain.
There you go, Rolando McClain, yes. If you had to pick one of those two players to be on this team, who would it be? And then just overall, out of those two players, who do you think would have just an overall better career? Had they had like their head on straight and really focused on their profession? But that's all I got, Nick. It was good talking to you, and I'll try to get back on soon, hopefully.
Thanks for the call. Thank you.
That's easy for me.
That's a fantastic question. That's a really good one. Who's the better player of those two? And also, just if they would have had their head on straight, and who would have been the better player? I don't know. It's probably Rolando McClain, because he was a first-round pick. I think he was 8th overall. He was supposed to be. David Irving was a freak, man. I don't know, man. David Irving. That this is what I remember. And Beam, did you have? I don't know if when you say that, I don't know if you're in my ear or you're.
No, I said it out loud.
What do you think?
It's McClain.
You think
that guy was a beast?
Yeah,
bro.
He was
on this team. He said on this team, like he would be a beast on this team.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with you, he'd be all over the place.
Yeah, no, he would, and I mean they need linebacker help too. I think it's a great question because you're talking about
him and Overshown together.
Yeah, but Okay, David Irving was suspended like 5 games one year, and he was coming back. I forget. I guess it was against the Patriots. And Tyrone Crawford was getting asked about it, and he was like, do you think that David Irving's a guy that could come in and, and have an impact right away, even though he's been out? And I remember Tyrone going, David can. Yeah. Most other guys, most of us, nah, probably not. But Dave can. He can. He could come right in and just be a freak. And he could have. I mean, like, that's why that's a really good question. And here's what I wonder. I'm not going to wonder that out loud. I'm thinking of other players that you could put in that category. As it stands right now, though, that's a good question. David Irving had a chance. He was really close. Was really, really, really close to getting a massive contract. And it just, the bottom fell out before he could really get there. But I think that's a good question, because both those guys, talent-wise, could have been great. And those are sad stories. They really are when you think of it that way, of like, because it's not talent, it's other things, and you can't get over some of the other things. And so that's why sometimes I think you gotta give some credit to the guys that do figure out a way, to get over some of those situations that are tough. I mean, think about it. I mean, when you think about from that standpoint, Dez Bryant, there was probably 4, 5, 10 times in his life where he could have gone a different way and not gotten to that point. I mean, Dez could have had some things happen to him that would have derailed his development, his progress. And so while it's easy to look at those guys and go, man, what could have been, you got to give some credit to some other players that were like, hey, he made it through, and it wasn't easy. So, but again, great question. Probably Rolando McClain, because I think talent-wise, David Irving was undrafted, but they missed. NFL missed on that. I mean, like he but he had off-the-field issues at Iowa State, and that's what kind of he had off-the-field issues. That's what it was. But good stuff. Good, really good question. Let's go to break real quick on Cowboys storyline. I'll be right back.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline presented by Gillette. Gillette's best shave is now available in cowboy colors, 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor is truly the best Cowboy fan can get. Get yours at gillette.com/NFL. All right, back here on Storyline. Let's go to Sergeant Stu in Fort Worth. He's been waiting. Sorry, dude. What's up?
You're good, brother. At ease, everybody. Hey, I love that last call, and the answer is David Irving. In my opinion, man, when you got a guy like that on the defensive line, man, and he's going to take up two, maybe three blockers. That's going to help out these young guys, get some pass rush, help out with your defense. But I also liked his call because he was talking about being like a wet blanket, and he just thought that Denver defense was pretty good. I called in because I don't think that Denver defense is very battle-tested. I think Dallas Cowboys offense is far more battle-tested this season, going against, Eagles, Packers, Jets, still putting up 30, 40 points multiple times. Denver's defense looks elite on paper, but when you look at it, they played against Cam Ward and the Titans, and Jake Browning filling up for Joe Burrow. I mean, New York is New York, and these rookies are on fire, but they're still rookies. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. As far as battle tested, as far as what they actually are bringing to the table, they haven't faced anybody like Dallas. And not to mention, Dallas has had a bunch of injuries on the offense. Turpin's down, no problem. CD's down, no problem. Offensive line shuffling around, no problem. Dak is making things happen. The offense is making things happen. This offense is far more battle-tested than Denver's defense, and you're going to see it on Sunday. Dallas is going to win 38-27. All right, appreciate you taking my call, brother.
All right, good call. Thank you. And you're right. I mean, that just is what it is. I mean, we've played a few games now. Everyone's played 6-7 games, but okay. I did it. Everyone has played 6 or 7 games.
6-7.
Oh, God. Man, there's nothing that annoys me more than that. And honestly, that was actual slip there. But I couldn't sneak that past my 5-year-old. She would definitely do that. She would. That's how I learned that this was even a thing. But most people have played. Some of them have played 6. Some of them have played 7 games. And but it's still relatively early to think what teams are. And so I think you're right. Sergeant Sue, that's a real good point. Denver, they've played some good teams. They've played some bad teams and some bad quarterbacks. This will be a challenge for them, just like it'll be a challenge for the Cowboys as well. So, they could probably go to Denver, play a home game, be looking at maybe the Cowboys coming up. We're going to beat the Giants, and they got to play the Cowboys. And then all of a sudden, these rookies came in there, and it took them a while to get going. And they got lucky to win that game. There's no doubt about it. They got lucky to win that game. But they did. Give them credit for that. Sneaking past the Cowboys and looking, no, that's not happening. We know that. So the Cowboys will get their best. But I think Denver will get, Dallas's best too. So it should be a lot of fun. All right, Chris in San Angelo is next.
Hey, Mr. Nick. Hope you're doing well today,
you
sir.
You too. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, man. I like the story you gave about the Jason Witten thing, because I get caught up in that. Yeah, I can do things that will change the outcome type modes every once in a while.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of silly.
Yeah. Right.
Quick story. The Saturday before the Carolina game, my boss gave me his old TV, and it was a 60-inch, real nice. So he's on a different pay scale than me. So
usually bosses usually are.
They usually are. Whatever he got must have been something special, because this was nice. Anyway, we didn't put it up before the Carolina game.
Okay.
And
I know where this is going here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And we didn't put it up. And so that game, the defense, made me ill, and I kept walking away. And so I'm like, okay, we got to change the scenery. So me and my son put it up. Well, my son and I helped him put it up during the week, and then got on there and got it, all the wires fixed up, got it put together, and boom, we watched it in there against Washington. We all know what happened there. So since I'm going to watch it in there again, I'm going to say the Cowboys, I'm going to try it for one more week, and then I'll change if it doesn't work. But like I change shirts 3 times in a game sometimes. Yeah. But I'm going to say 34-30. And on that note, since I mentioned it, do you know what's a good little player superstition or any, band superstition that you know about that you would want to go on, get into there?
Okay. Let me just say this, though. I would get that out of your head about the game, and whether because of the the TV or not. You got a 60-inch TV that you got basically for free. Put that up and watch it from there. If they win, if they lose, and it's not because of that. Keep that 60-inch TV and watch it from there. Superstitions. The one that I always think of for some reason is Patrick Creighton, because Patrick Creighton had to eat gummy worms or gummy fish or whatever. And I remember being, sounds so bougie, but we were in a limo in Oakland in 2005 going to some event. They used to send the players, and then we would go and do this interview, and they would take us in a limo. And so I think it was the first time I've ever been in a limo with Patrick Creighton. And he was kind of freaking out because he didn't have the gummy worms for this game. And he figured it out, and he got them, and he scored a touchdown in that game. I remember him scored a long touchdown in that game. So gummy worms, gummy fish, gummy whatever, that was his deal. I don't know a lot of others, but that's one for sure that I always remember about, superstitious stuff like that. All right, let's go to Zach in Atlanta.
Frisco, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I was traveling last couple weeks, so I haven't been able to call in. I was at a 9-hour time difference and still found a way to watch the Cowboys whoop up on the Commanders.
Wow.
Felt great. It was worth waking up at 2 a.m. to do it. So,
nice.
But before that, I called before Carolina and said, I don't think we're out of the woodworks yet. And obviously we lost that game.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at this game against the Broncos and the Cardinals next week. These are two teams that I feel like they just are a booger you can't flick. I don't know what it is in my lifetime, but we just have not been able to beat these guys. And so we got to lock in. We got to beat the Broncos. We got to beat the Cardinals. And I'll be feeling a lot more confident about this team. So I think this week, I think we do beat the Broncos. It's time, man. We're going to beat them 31-27. And then my double agent for the week, who played for the Star near and far. Shout out to Brian in Kansas City for adopting the phrase. I respect your knowledge of ball, brother. You're awesome. All right, so double agent for the week, our buddy DeMarcus Ware. He's one of my favorite Cowboys of all time. Obviously, we think about the Saints game where he just became a superhero. But do you have any other stories on DeMarcus Ware? And with that, I'll hang up. Go Cowboys.
All right, cool. One of the best ever, Cowboys and Broncos, especially because, I saw a picture I hadn't even seen before where at the Hall of Fame where he's wearing his jacket and Jerry is like tugging him on this arm, and then the Broncos owner, which I forgot his name, but tugging him on this arm, like, he's our guy, and while it sounds kind of silly, like, he's played so many times here, and he did finish his career officially with the Cowboys, but he goes up to Denver a lot, and they helped him win a Super Bowl. Story wise, oh man, there's so many. I just remember with him his rookie year with I don't know what it's called. It's a big ring. It's like the biggest hula hoop you've ever seen, and they put it on the ground, and it's a pass rush drill, and basically you're supposed to stay low and touch the ground and run around this circle. And, it's not the easiest thing to do because you got to run fast, but you also got to get low. But, and these other defensive ends are doing it, and, and Greg Ellis, okay, that's pretty good. And then D. Ware does it, and he just sprints by it. And it's like, you knew right then, like, okay, this is different. Like, and it took him a little bit to get going. That's why I think, just don't close the door on Ezeraku just yet, because D. Ware went to Christmas Eve in his rookie year. He had 4 sacks going into that game against Carolina. He got 3 in that one game, all forced fumbles. They all on Jake Delhomme, and they won the game. And then the next week he got another sack and tied Greg Ellis for the team lead with 8. And then, of course, from there he just took off. But for a long time, 4 sacks going into the second last game of the year. You're expecting more, so the light bulb kind of came on with him. But man, from the start, you saw just how quick he was and explosive. All right, Tony in Waco. What's up, Tony?
Coach, how we doing, Nick? How we doing, gentlemen?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. more just, I guess, kind of a comment more than an actual question, so I hope you'll indulge me for a couple of minutes. I know the talk of the town, through all of the Cowboys Nation has been how good the offense is and how we're not quite sold on the defense of the Broncos and how they're not, according to the one call, not battle-tested, which I do think has some relevance here. But call me a wet blanket, that's fine. I mean, I bleed blue and silver, but I just cannot shake a certain feeling of a certain, 2014 Super Bowl when Peyton Manning had like 10,000 yards and 80 touchdowns, and they were absolutely demolished by the Legion of Boom. And I am not referring to Denver as the Legion of Boom. I don't think anybody will ever be that again. But that's my biggest fear. And that's all I really got. So I guess feel free to talk me off this ledge, Nick. But that's my fear. I mean, Denver's a hard place to play. We haven't won there since '92. Granted, we've only been there 3 times because of the every 8-year cycle. But I mean, if we win, it'll be 27-24, 27-21. Like I do not see us, marching up and down the field. I mean, that's it. And I'll let you go.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thanks for the call. You know what? It took me a second to kind of figure out where you were going with that. I didn't understand the Legion of Boom reference. I get it now. Peyton Manning, that year when their offense was clicking, going nuts, that they go and they met a defense that really stifled. Okay, I get it. And yeah, I mean, this could be that. But I don't know. Did the Legion of Boom give up 31 points the week before to a couple of rookies? I don't know. I mean, all I'm saying is that I don't think they're unbeatable. I mean, they gave up some plays, and their offense is they're a little bit flipped. They're kind of like the Cowboys. I think their defense is good. Their offense is not as good as their defense. Same here. It's the gap is probably wider here for the Cowboys as far as how good their offense is compared to their defense, and how good Denver's defense is compared to their offense. Still, games take on a life of their own. We'll see what happens when the bullets start flying. I get that this is going to be a tough game. Cowboys are not favored to win. This isn't a place that we've ever, seen them win. A lot of people haven't ever seen them win here. And so, yeah, it's a different thing. But, it all comes down to can the Cowboys move the ball up and down the field, score points, get touchdowns, and not field goals. That's going to be the key. They're going to get inside the red zone. Dude, they score. If they score some touchdowns and don't have to settle for field goals, then I think that they're going to be really hard to beat. Let's go to one more break here on Cowboy Storyline. I'll be right back.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline. I got a few more minutes before we wrap this show up, wrap up the week before the Cowboys take on Denver. We got Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, do you think this is a week where we get some GOMB runs from Javonte?
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah.
There's been a couple, yeah. I mean, he's had one, and I have tweeted that out a couple times, but yeah, it's got to be. This has got to be one where he's going to be running violently. He's got to hang on to the football too. I know he's fumbled once, but this is one of those when you're running and you're getting extra yards and fighting for yards and all that. They're going to be poking at the ball. So yeah, this is going to be one where he's got to hang on to the football too.
Yeah, and maybe if he explodes this week, maybe we'll start calling him Gambi. Since he just get off me, buddy, all day. But with that said, if the run game's not working on early downs, I don't want to see us just stick with it just to try to establish it. I don't want to get into these third and longs over and over. So I'm not going to be afraid to go out and also, throw this thing downfield, even with Patrick out there playing corner.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's covering CD, Pickens. I really don't care. This could be a game where Turpin does something really nice for you. There's too many weapons offensively. I know they've got a good defense, but yeah, I see the Cowboys winning this game. Bold prediction: in honor of the 6-7, Aubrey's going to nail a 67-yard field goal at the end of the first half, and I think this is going to be one of those weird score games, maybe even a score-a-gami. I'm going to say 32-26 Cowboys.
All right, like it. I like it a lot. You know what? Along those lines, I think that I would. You get the ball whenever the first drive is, if they get the ball first or whatever. I bet they do. I bet they get the ball first. I bet that they don't win the toss. Broncos will get it and defer, and I think the Cowboys will probably start. That's the way I see it. First play of the game, I would, probably play action or whatever, and I would, whether it's Pickens or CD, whatever, I'm throwing it deep at Surtain. I'm throwing it deep, going right down the field with him, whatever the coverage, if it, as long as the safety's not just sitting there camping out, which, I doubt it. I mean, if the safety's back there camping out where Surtain is, then they're not doing it right as far as I'm concerned. But I'm gonna throw it right at him. First play of the game. And if it's incomplete, it's incomplete. If it's picked off, well, it's picked off. It should be down the field a little bit. But I think that's you always want to send a message. That would be the message I would send. Like, hey, you're a great player. We got great players too. Let's go. And see what happens. And then if you catch it and you make a play on it, and you have to be careful too. Just because you throw. I mean, we saw that right with Deron Bland. We saw it with Trayvon Diggs a couple years before that some teams would make plays on them, and then they keep throwing, and guess what? It goes the other way. So you got to be careful. Great corners are great corners, but I think from a message standpoint, we're not afraid of you guys. We're not afraid of this guy. We're not afraid of anybody. Yeah, we wanted him. We wanted to draft him. But it didn't work out. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be afraid of him. I think they need to go right at him. All right, Rick in Massachusetts. Rick, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
And basically, I would go with Irving myself, but great calls by Sergeant Sue and a few other people. Playa is going off of Casey. My score is going to be 33-28.
All right. Got a few of those.
And, yeah. Have a good weekend and go Cowboys.
All right. Thank you. All right. Good stuff. Shelby in Virginia had that same score, 33-28. Going with 33. I think I went 33-21. I could be wrong with that. It could be closer than this. I don't know. I just kind of feel like this is going to be the week the Cowboys kind of really put it on them. And if that happens, if the Cowboys win this game, I think there's going to be a lot of flowers going this direction. If they win by 2 scores, all those guys that talk a lot, you know who they are. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to talk, down about this team. If they go up to Denver and win a game. This is a big game. This is the kind of game where it's like, all right, what kind of team do you want to be? Do you want to beat these teams you're supposed to beat, or do you want to go on the road and win a game, that you're not favored to win? Got to go up there and win this game. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. All right, Greg in Sacramento.
Hey, good morning, Nick. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's funny. My first and only game I've ever got to go to at Cowboys Stadium was in November 2021, and we were playing the Denver Broncos. And
gross.
In that game, it was a rough day. We lost like 30-16, I think was the final score.
Yeah.
And what was crazy was Javonte Williams was just running all over us that game.
Yeah, he was.
And, I was excited to be there, because it was my first time at the stadium and stuff. And my brothers were giving me kind of grief, telling me I was bad luck and stuff because I went and they lost so bad. But I'm kind of looking forward to, hopefully this will be a good revenge game for me anyway. As a fan, hopefully the Cowboys can get some little revenge for me on these Broncos. Also my boss is a Broncos fan, so it'd be great to be able to have some bragging rights on Monday. So
yeah, well, be careful when you do it. You know what I mean? Because you might get an assignment or 3 that you don't like. So just say it is what Act like you've been there before, even though you haven't. You probably haven't seen them beat Denver before. But yeah. All right.
Right. That's funny. And I just wanted to give a quick score prediction. I think it's going to be 34-21 Cowboys.
Okay.
And then if I could, just a really quick question about the defense. Do you think we'll see more of what we saw against the Commanders?
Yeah.
Because I thought Eberflus had a great plan. He played a lot more man and stuff like that. And just want to see if you think he'll do more of the same.
Well, all right. Thanks for the call. I think and Eberflus said it yesterday. It's always matchup driven. I mean, everything's matchup. So percentage wise, it was a little bit 50-50 as far as zone and man. You might see more or less of that. Different type of quarterback, obviously, but they both can run. And Nick's he's got a little bit more playmakers at receiver as well. So. I think you'll see, and we'll see how the game kind of flows too. Remember, the Cowboys took a 2-score lead right before halftime. They are led by 3 scores, in most of the second half. So that kind of changes your plan a little bit. But whatever it is, it's got to be mixing it up, and it's got to keep, Bo Nix on his toes a little bit. All right, let's go. Blair in Virginia, last call. Blair, what's up?
Hey, Nick, great to be on the show. Look, I'm going to implement my 30-second offense with this call and try to hit a bunch of stuff. So the comment I have is I love Shoddy as a coach. I love the job he's doing, but a lot of people have praised him for talking to Eberflus before last week. We saw this coming a long time ago. It's like, to me, it was he needed to do that earlier. So just keep moving in that direction, but I'm not praising the timing on that. Quick memory on Denver. The last time we won in Denver, I was with my wife picking out Christmas trees. I had a radio listening to the game and trying to act like I was in the Christmas spirit while I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
And glad she's still stuck with me after all that. My prediction is Dallas over Denver, 33-30 with a question. I'm picturing an Aubrey field goal at the end to win it. So my question or thought-provoking question is, when Brandon breaks the record, and I'm not sure he will this week, I hope he does, but when he breaks that record, would you rather be at home or would you rather be on the road? And I'll let it go at that. And a shout out to Shelby for his question yesterday. Drive safely on the way home today, but I would have Sean Lee for intelligence as my defensive player, Charles Haley for pure entertainment, and for offense, I agreed with you. Herschel Walker's your best chance. That's all I got. Have a great weekend. Go Cowboys.
All right.
You and Chris are the greatest. Take care.
All right, thank you for the call. If he's going to break the record, it doesn't really matter. To be honest, I would rather it not be Denver. Because then it would always be kind of asterisk-wise, like, well, of course he did it in Denver, 67, do it over here or there. So it doesn't matter. If it happens, it's not like they play there every other week, for years. And so it's not like everyone's doing it, I think there is a couple in the 60s, but it's not like it happens all the time. You got to be accurate, too. You can't just be kicking it. You got to be accurate. So it really won't matter. I think it'll be cool if it was a meaningful kick. I think the 66-yarder that Tucker has for the Ravens, I think it was meaningful, right? It won the game. It also bounced over, too, indoors. So, how about an outdoor kick that goes right through and to win the game? All right, let's go. One more caller. I said last caller, but we do have one more. Let's go Sheriff Lonnie in Kansas.
Yes. How are you doing? It's been a while since I got in.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just enjoying listening to all you guys and listening to your show, and I've continued listening to it all year. And Cowboys, I've been through the 1 of 15, and this team is it can be frustrating, but we knew this is how it could possibly go this year. But I think they showed a little fire last week, and hopefully they show more this week. And I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to win this week. I think they're going to lay – if the Giants and 2 rookies can lay that many points on them, so can our offense. It's the best offense out there. And Shoddy's doing an awesome job. I used to watch his dad coach the Chiefs, and I liked him then. He just struggled when it came to the big game. But other than that, Shoddy's good. I liked him. I liked the pick from the very beginning. I wasn't mad about it like a lot of other people. And they're getting on the bandwagon now.
Yeah, they are.
I was there before it started. But they're gonna win this one 37-27.
All right, I like it. All right, Sheriff.
And, I'm with you. Go at Surtain right away.
Let's go right at him.
How can you not? You got C.D. Lamb or Pickens, whoever's on him.
Yeah.
You know, you got 2 of the best.
So, all right. Well, we'll see if
that's all I got.
If that happens. All right, Sheriff. Appreciate that. Thanks for the call. I can't rush the Sheriff off the line, right? I mean, we are kind of pressed against it. It's good to hear from him. It's been a while. Sheriff Lonnie in Kansas. He says he agrees with me. Go right at Surtain. Boy, that could be famous last words, but why not? You can't be scared. You got to go up there and play. They're going to bring it. Cowboys need to bring it as well. It should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk about it on Monday. See if all these 33 predictions are correct. I know that's going to be mine. Let's see if the Cowboys can go and win for the first time up in Denver in 33 years. Sure will be a lot of fun to talk about on Monday. For Chris Beam, Nick Eatman, see you on Monday. Cowboy Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?